So the rich get richer thanks to the law of attraction, right? So what do you do if you're not rich? What if you do specifically if you're broke? Like if you're living paycheck to paycheck or just barely getting by? What do you do to attract money? How do you attract money when you're broke? Now, of course, I am Andrea Schulman, and I'm back with another law of attraction video for you today. And it is a common misconception in the comments. Not everybody. Some of you have been following me a long time. If you have, say hi. Some of you know kind of my story and a little bit about my background. But frequently in the comments, I will see people commenting and they'll say things to the effect of, well, I just don't understand where they're coming from. You know, I have it easy. I've got a charmed life. I've got lots of money, blah, blah, blah. I wouldn't understand. I wouldn't know. And it is true that today I live a very abundant lifestyle, and I do talk about it a lot on this channel. That is not the case though for my past. In fact, when I was younger, a young adult, my early beginnings on my own were very, very humble. Okay, so I lived in a really shoddy, smelly 400 square foot apartment. It was right next to a pawn shop. I was paycheck to paycheck. I was working multiple jobs at the same time. I was even selling plasma to help pay my bills. You know, I didn't have, you know, the gated community, the nice cars, the nice vacations. I didn't have that. And so I really wanted to make today's video for that person, you know, because I've been that person. And to me personally, if you're living like that, if you're living paycheck to paycheck, if you're broke right now, to me, that's unacceptable. It's unacceptable because you deserve so much better and you do not have to live that way. And so I really wanted to create today's video to share with you what were the top things that got me from those humble beginnings to where I am today. Okay, and so I want you to get on that trajectory. Now, today's video would be good for anyone who wants to attract more money. But if you are truly broke right now, this is going to be a great video for you. You may like some of what I have to say. You may not like some of what I have to say, but it's going to be real talk because I want you to hear from me what's going to make the difference for you. And I promise you, if you do these things, you are going to radically alter your abundance game. You are going to start to attract a lot more money, and you too can be in the same position as me in the near future. So let's jump on in with the first thing. And this is something I have not talked about in any of my other abundance videos. I think it's relevant information for everybody, but I think it's very specific for people who are broke. People who are struggling to get by. And it is a mentality that I want you to adopt today if you don't already have it. And the mentality is, I've got nothing to lose, so I'm just gonna go for it. I've got nothing to lose, so I'm just going to go for it. This is critical. If you're struggling, if you're paycheck to paycheck, if you're broke, if you don't have any money, there is a very common tendency that occurs. And I know this because I've lived there and I've seen how people live there. I've had my life in that camp. I know how it goes. There's a very strong tendency for people to not take chances on their financial future, to not go for the bigger job, to not go for the education, to not start that business or not go after that dream. There's a lot of kind of holding on to your cards and just trying to stay afloat. That's where a lot of people are. What you really have to understand if you want to make this massive trajectory from being broke to being very abundant, you have to understand that we got to jumpstart you. We got to get you moving in that direction. And one of the best ways to do this is just to remind yourself that you have absolutely nothing to lose. So if you think about people who are massively wealthy, people who are billionaires, right, multi-billionaires, they've got a lot going on. You know, they've got maybe lots of homes, lots of foundations, lots of businesses. There's like this whole infrastructure that they're presiding over that is impacted by every decision that they make. And so, if they just decide, hey, I'm just not going to work anymore, right? They have a lot to lose. But when you don't have any money, you have nothing to lose. And there's a great amount of freedom that comes from not having money. And it's one of the strongest things that's going to help you get moving in that direction, is understanding that you can make moves when you have nothing with very little consequences, because you can always go and find another crummy job. Right? You can always go and apply for maybe another loan or whatever it is that you're doing to kind of get by. You can go back to that if you need to, but there's nothing standing in the way of moving in the direction of your dreams. There is a saying that fortune favors the brave, and I can see back throughout my past that that's very true. Those leaps that I've made have been the things that have put me into the position to attract more money. So I live in Florida now, but I didn't always live here. I used to live in Michigan. And when I lived in Michigan, I had a really crummy job. I had a crummy car. I had a pretty crummy life. I was addicted to things and had substance abuse. And I just wasn't in a very abundant place. But I knew I didn't want to live there anymore. And I felt like there was more opportunity for me in Florida, which is where I live now. And so I didn't have any money. I only had a couple $100. I had very little credit. I had a busted car with no AC, no air conditioning, and I had no job in Florida, but I just packed up the car and came on down, and I figured it out when I got here. Now, looking back, like now, I could not do that now. I got too many things that I got to worry about transporting from A to B. I can't just up and leave and start a new life. But when you're broke, you can do those kind of things. And so I would really recommend, not necessarily that you got to move to Florida, although Florida is very nice. But if you've got ideas about dreams that you would like, maybe you want to quit your job and go after a better job, or maybe you want to sign up for some courses or classes. Maybe you do want to move. Maybe you want to try a new business. Go ahead and take the leap. Okay. A lot of people are afraid to take the leap. You've got nothing to lose. Okay. Nothing to lose. Just go ahead and take the leap. And that may seem a little bit scary. It may. If it sounds scary to you, brainstorm a list of, I would say, 20 things that you could do to jumpstart your future and put yourself in a better financial position. And take a look at that list once you're through it and ask yourself, of all of those 20 things, which one feels like the most fun? And whichever one it is, just go ahead and do it. Again, remember, you have nothing to lose, and fortune favors the brave. All right, now for my second tip on how to attract money if you are broke. This one is so important because when people learn about the law of attraction, particularly if they're broke and they don't have a lot of money, there's this tendency to compare themselves against like gajillionaires and then feel like they're screwing up because they're not attracting on that level. And so for my second point here, if you want to attract money when you're broke, you have to understand that you absolutely must start where you are and build momentum. Remember always that momentum is the name of the game. Again, people often make comparisons, and comparisons can really slow down your money attraction. If you've been broke your whole life, or even just broke this past year, okay, you're sitting in a lowered vibrational state on the subject of money. That's just where you're at right now, okay? That's just what it is. You don't want to compare yourself against like a Bill Gates. Bill Gates has such a well-established vibration of abundance that he's doing cartwheels with money, okay? And when somebody has a really well-established vibration of abundance, money comes to them very, very easily. And their ability to attract is much, much higher than somebody who's just getting going with the law of attraction or just getting going with manifesting. And this is so important to understand because it's not about, am I doing better than Bill Gates? That's not the thing that we need to be concerned with. What we need to be concerned with is, are we building momentum? Because as long as you are building your abundance momentum, it's going to pick you up at some point and shoot you into a very abundant life. Now, the analogy that I like to use for this one sometimes is riding a bike, because it's an analogy most people, I think, have some frame of reference for. So I want you to imagine that it's your first time riding a bike ever. And maybe you remember this, okay? The first time you get on the bike, it is not smooth sailing. Okay, you may even need training wheels or someone to hold you up. You do not have any momentum. You're not careening down the street, okay? You're very, very wobbly. Well, if you're in a broke place right now and you're not attracting a lot of money, it's like you're just now trying to learn how to ride that bike. We cannot expect you to be popping wheelies, right? Or standing on the handlebars or riding a unicycle. We can't expect those kinds of advanced moves from you with a bicycle when you just get going. Now, if you look at like a Bill Gates is like a professional cyclist. Okay, he's the one popping wheelies. He's the one who's, doing the handstands on the handlebars. That's how well established his momentum is. And so what we want to do is we want you to build momentum. So just like getting started on the bike, it's going to be wobbly. Once you start riding, those first few pedals are going to be hard. It's hard to get the bike moving. But once you get centered, once you get stable, once you get comfortable, once you get those pedals going, that bike starts really, really moving. And it's moving almost on its own. Have you ever ridden a bike and you've gotten it up to speed and you've noticed that it takes very little effort for you to keep that bike going? Okay, that's where you want to get to with your abundance. So if you're not there yet, the name of the game is building that momentum. So I want you to measure your success by your momentum, not by the money in the bank. The momentum is the more important piece. And so to really build this, what I want you to start doing is I want you to start noticing when things are working out for you. I want you to notice when you are attracting money. Every time money comes to you, whether through a paycheck or maybe you just find a penny on the ground, it doesn't matter. Every time the tiniest little amount of abundance comes to you, remind yourself, oh my goodness, I'm building momentum. Look at that. I attracted more money. I attracted more money. I got more. I got more. I got more. Because that will allow the momentum to pick up. Because you're going to start singing the tune that I'm building money momentum. I'm getting better at this. I'm getting better at this. And the law of attraction will mirror whatever it is that you're saying with your inner monologue. Frequently, again, what people are doing that screws it up is that they want to attract money and a little bit comes, but they'll say something like, I'm no good at this. I don't attract that much. I never get as much as I want. And again, the law of attraction will mirror your inner monologue. And so if you're saying those kinds of things to yourself, you really block it from coming. So do not compare yourself against highly abundant people, okay? They've been biking a long time and it's easy for them now because they're in a well-established vibration and they have a lot of momentum moving behind them. Your job right now is to get into the momentum. So every time you see it picking up, you want to acknowledge it and validate it, and it will speed up for you very, very quickly. Now, some more suggestions on how to attract money when you are broke. But first, if you enjoy law of attraction videos that teach you how to get the things that you want, please make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel. I put out videos like this every single week, and I know you'll enjoy coming along for the ride. All right, now for my third suggestion here on how to attract money when you are broke. I wish I had taken this one seriously from the beginning. I think this is the one that probably held me back the most. And so if you want to do better than me and get there faster than me, apply this one quickly. Start doing it now. And it is act as if. Act as if. Act as if you have money. Act as if you are wealthy. You're gonna find if you are truly broke right now, if you truly are living like I was back then, you're gonna find if you do inventory on yourself that you have a lot of habits and behaviors that are congruent with low abundance rather than high abundance. As for me, when I was living that lower abundant lifestyle where I had the crummy apartment and I was selling plasma, working multiple jobs, just getting by, I was doing things like I was a chain smoker. And I'm not saying everyone who's broke is a chain smoker, but you tend to see more of that in the lower abundant communities. I had a very foul mouth. And this is something I'm still kind of working through. I would use a lot of slang and I would swear a lot. I just wouldn't speak like I was articulate or like I was educated. I dressed sloppy. I didn't put myself together very well. I didn't really try to put together a nice looking outfit. My grooming wasn't very good. I handled money like I was poor. I hoarded it. I was afraid to spend it. I was very cheap. I was very frugal. And again, it's not to say that everyone who does not have abundance has all these characteristics, and that everyone who is abundant does not have these characteristics. But I'm saying from where I'm sitting, and I've lived in both places, when I look at the people that lived in the lower abundant places that I used to be compared to where I am now, there is a huge difference in the behaviors of the wealthy versus the behaviors of people who are not wealthy. And one of the quickest ways to accelerate your wealth potential is to start acting wealthy. Now, again, if you are truly broke, you're probably going to find that there's lots of little habits that you have that are not wealthy habits. And so something I would really recommend is to start studying wealthy people and start to adopt their habits one by one. It's going to be very hard to overhaul your entire wardrobe if you're broke, or all of your grooming habits all at once, or all of your behavior patterns all at once. And you're going to find there's a lot of little tweaks that you can do. You do not need to do it all at once. Again, momentum is your friend, but pick one or two things to work on. Start doing them now and get them up and running. And as you become comfortable with them, add more. Even to this day, I am still adding abundant habits. You could go back and look at my videos from even just like a year ago, and you can see I didn't used to get my nails manicured. And I do that now. Now, I'm not saying that everyone who is broke has the money to go out and get a manicure, but I'm at the point now where I can afford to do that. And so this is a new habit that I've taken on to help accelerate my abundance. And yes, it looks nice and it's pretty and all of that, but that's the main reason behind this, okay? And so I continue to add new habits to accelerate my wealth potential. It continues to work for me, so please let it work for you. And if you would like some more tips on how to attract an abundant life into your world, you would love to look into my Law of Attraction membership program. I have an absolutely enormous database of manifesting resources that are immediately available upon sign up, over 225 of them to be exact, and many of them are abundance related. The membership does come with its own app, and I do send out to my members 3 new audio downloads every single month. If you're interested in learning more about my membership program, I will, of course, go ahead and put a link below in the description. Additionally, if you are new to my work here, I would love to invite you to take my Law of Attraction test. If you would like to know for sure that you are the creator of your reality and what you think is what you get to experience in life, I've designed a very simple 5-minute test where you can prove it to yourself. And to take that test, please go to manifestingtest.com. I will, of course, put a link in the description as well for the test, but manifestingtest.com is the direct link. Thanks so much for watching today's video on how to attract money when you are broke. I really hope that you enjoyed it. And of course, I look forward to bringing you another one soon. Bye-bye.